Okay. Theoretically, I'm live now. We'll find out sooner or later. And I've got a crazy lighting situation going on, which I might just turn off. We'll see. It's a little irritating to my ears because I actually hear light sometimes. So I have a couple of remotes that I'm going to see whether or not I can adjust the light. And if I cannot, then I might just turn them off. We'll see. Well, this one doesn't seem to react to it at all. Let's see if this one has any reaction. Well, maybe neither of these do. Well, if they're fun, we'll keep using them. If not, I'll just turn them off. I don't know where the actual remote is for the lights that are going on right now, and it's a little exciting to me because I like seeing, especially on something like this, maybe you can get a view of it, how much the color like really changes and contrasts when it shifts from one color to the other. Like it brings your attention to different points of it in a fun way. Oh, excuse you. Hello, Goblin. My cat is sniffing my apple slices over here. Are you good? Well, okay. He's just licking my apple slices over here. I tried feeding him some apple slices earlier, and he didn't want to actually eat them. He just liked licking them, which is probably not super sanitary, but oh well, it's happened now. Thank you. Thank you so much, sweetie. Anyway, for anyone joining me live, you should take a quick peek outside if you can see clearly right now, because the moon is absolutely huge and gorgeous, and it's very surreal to see. Like, I thought that there was snow on the roof of the building that like we can see from our porch because of how brightly the moon was reflecting off of the moisture there. So if you happen to have clear skies where you are right now and are, joining live, you should take a quick peek at the skies. Otherwise, welcome to Awkwardness with Izzy. Bum bum doom. I found a bright pink color because that's something that I wanted last time that I was working on these paintings. Even though I suspect that I'm still gonna want to mix it with. It's not even been broken open yet. I suspect it will still be better to mix it with some white in order to get the effect that I was kind of hoping for. Hello, tree. Let me know if it's too dizzying having these colors shift back and forth, because it is a little distracting to me, but at the same time, it is a good way of keeping my attention. Because, it's easy to lose attention in my brain. But, I have mixed feelings about this being a new element to it. I kind of just, these were actually lights that I wanted to hang all the way around the edge of the room, either here or in the other room, and since I couldn't make up my mind, I just kind of strung them around and thought I would sleep on it and kind of just work with it. We might be getting storms here in a bit. Yeah. I don't know if we have any storms coming here. I'm going to check the weather real quick out of curiosity. Very clear skies right now in Fitchburg. But we might be getting some storms. I'm certainly glad for the cooler temperatures for a second, because it had got real warm for a second there, and I was not ready for that level of warmth. It felt like spring had just like jumped to maximum. Looks like we're clear here in Wisconsin, at least until like noon tomorrow, so that's cool. But I know one of my friends in Tennessee is under a tornado watch warning. I don't remember which one is which thing. 1 second, I gotta go get a palette. Excuse me, Ray. itty bitty pitiful palette obtained. It's just a plastic plate. Tree says, it's a big one, so worth a check. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if I know or if I should broadcast. I don't know. Wherever you're located. Yeah, I know that Tennessee and a bunch of other, more southern states, I think there's a big storm kind of headed through there, to my understanding. Last time I checked, anyway. Weather tends to change so quickly. But, I am glad to be outside of the tornado belt now that we're in kind of northern Wisconsin-ish area, because that was always, it was a little bit exciting, but also an undue amount of stress that came with that. So, yeah. Severe thunderstorm specifically, yeah. That sounds rough. It's clear up here at the moment, but of course that's little consolation. I hope you have confidence in your current housing situation. I know where my mom is living, it always floods the basement. Almost always. One time recently, in one of the big storms, for some reason, it didn't flood. And that was an interesting little micro miracle. But usually, it does flood the basement. So, sucks. Not very fun. And also double sucks because you can't see how beautiful the moon is tonight. Of course, that's a less essential thing, but, I just was a little bit taken aback because I saw it, rising over the buildings in the same area and with the same general brightness that you usually see, the sunrise happening over our buildings here. Not quite, but in comparison to, all the lights were off in here and everything. So it was comparatively quite remarkable. And apparently we have a lot of planets in alignment again. I don't know what exactly that means, but, that's another thing that's happening. And there's a meteor that's going to be passing by Earth soon. I think it's called Atlas. And apparently it has a pretty remarkable atmosphere, which I didn't even know that meteors had atmospheres. I guess that was a thing that somehow went over my head, even though, I've had a few science courses in college. Maybe I just didn't remember it, but yeah, it's cool. It's pretty cool. Wild shit. It's going to be apparently the brightest meteor to go through our atmosphere since 1997. So that's wild. Tree says we are on a hill, so we don't have much flooding problems. Heck yeah, that helps a lot. Yeah. Being on a hill is very helpful. Of course, we're on the, third story of a building here, but even the bottom story I think is kind of on a lifted area. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that. It's a good time to be above sea level. That's for dang sure. Trying to mix some pretty pinks over here because I feel like that was what was lacking in my last one. Hopefully I don't let it go to waste though, because I don't want to accidentally mix more than I need. I have so much tension in my body and mental frustration about the whole political situation today. Hearing about whether Bernie either dropped out or suspended his campaign, I don't know, and it's just I have feelings I have so many feelings. It's not like I thought that that would be the end all be all to changing something. It's just, I have a very simple wish. The simple wish is that people could have access to affordable or free healthcare with or without insurance, because that's nonsense. But actually having some sort of safety net for your health. That would be freaking awesome. And if that's too much of a dream for America, I don't know what to frickin' say. There are some other things about, workers' rights and fair wages and things like that, but I feel like just the most simple thing is that investing in people's health care and mental health care would help the country immensely, because then everyone can do things theoretically, or at least everyone who could theoretically do things could do those things. I'm sorry, it jumped from one subject to another, but Tree says it's a fustercluck, and I have to agree. It's an absolute fustercluck. I have never wanted a punching bag so badly, except for the one time when I was told that I had to get a bunch of my teeth removed, and I just kind of ignored that. We'll see how that pans out sooner or later, but, dental frustrations aside, that kind of ties back into the whole healthcare thing, is, it's ridiculous that that's a thing that has to be questionable for people, whether or not they have access to knowing what the hell is going on with their body, their eyes, their teeth, etc. Man, I mixed up some paint here, but I feel like this is going to get used up so quickly on this canvas. Dang it. Dang it. Oh, goodness. Let's switch to this one and mix that with a little bit. The political issue specifically frustrates me because I feel like Bernie had it, really, there was going to be an upswing in votes for him, considering how much this political situation would be influenced by the current health crisis epidemic. And so it's very confusing to me that now of all times he would step back, especially right after Wisconsin had their clusterfuck of a vote situation happen. But I don't know. I'm trying to be chill a little bit. Not really. I'm Can you tell how I feel about this? Because this is how I feel about this. Very grogmental. I just feel very arg. I wasn't optimistic to begin with, and this is just the cherry on top of the fuck pie. This content is not meant for children, just in case YouTube didn't already catch that when I ticked that box. Yep. And if anyone wants to talk about anything else, I'm all ears. Because, I don't know. Yeah. It's so unfair and weird. But hey, in good news, my potatoes are still all alive. I'm doing some good porch gardening, and that's really exciting. I don't know whether or not it's going to yield anything, but it's fun. And it makes me happy to see all the little plants living their life, doing their thing. So that's real cool. And I've played a few more days in my Stardew Valley save. So that's fun. Yeah. Tree says we need an actual communist to make Sanders look like the moderate, and that is very true. Like, yeah. It's so frustrating. It is so frustrating because people don't realize how far politics has shifted. I'm not the best person to be talking about it because I don't remember all the names and dates of things, but I can tell you for sure that the leanings of things have changed many, many times, and basic rights like access to healthcare are not that crazy extreme, and yet we've been convinced that they are, even though so many other countries, especially any developed countries, are miles ahead of us in so many arenas. And yeah. This is very frustrating. It's very frustrating. Especially when you realize, I don't know. To me, I always just like default to kind of like idealistic stuff where I realize that since we're not even on the fucking gold standard or anything anymore, like, the only thing that matters with money is just that it's water pressure to make people do things, basically. Like, and you can apply that pressure in so many different ways to so many different ends. And the fact, any time that that pressure is applied in a way to continue the monopolization that countries that already had an upper hand and obviously have lobbyists, it's like, can you get any more fucking transparent, really? Like, I'm not doing a very good job of articulating it right now, but I'm just exhausted and I'm just trying to de-stress. It's very frustrating. It seems like it's very... Yeah, porch potatoes. Yeah. I'm so excited to share how the yield goes for my porch potatoes, whether or not they survive, because definitely some of them are in very too small of pots than they should be. It's really wild. Specifically my purple potatoes, I can see the ones that are from the purple potatoes because they have much thicker stalks and kind of darker green with hints of purple in their leaves. And yeah, I'm curious to see how that pans out. And of course, for anyone who's a professional gardener, they're like, why aren't you using seed potatoes? And the thing is that you're actually... Hello. Thank you, Kat. You can thank Ragnar for that excitement. I'm sorry if that was loud. I have to reassemble my it lost a piece here somewhere. Ragnar, why did you do this? Why did you do this, huh? Don't fall down. Don't fall down. Oh, cats. What do you know? Did he, like, actually break the box that I was using? I think he broke it. Why'd you break it? Now it's all droopy. I love you, good boy. But why did you do this? Well, I guess it's gonna be droopy now. Hopefully that's not too weird. Let's see how that lines up. Maybe it's okay still. Ooh, that's fun. Look. You can actually see the lights through the canvas if you actually hold it right up to it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Well, Droopy it will be, I guess. Thank you, Ragnar. Yep. Ragnar did destructify it quite a bit, but I think it's okay. Maybe it's even better now. Who knows? Yeah. That's better, right? And here comes Molly crawling in. Do you want to cause more destruction, Molly, honey? Nah, she knows what's up. She avoids the treacherous footing. Oh, cats. You're so lovely. I'm going to take that as a cue that I should switch my colors. I think that's what Ragnar's trying to tell me, is that I should switch my colors. Let me go get some plastic wrap to seal off the color that I was using so it doesn't dry out. Un momento. I love cats so much. Chaos elements. I'm going to seal off the color that Ragnar criticized with his destruction. Isn't it beautiful? I always love palettes, how they turn out. Okay. Let's do some bright orange, maybe. Woo! Okay. Are you done leaking out? I think yes. Man, I kind of want to be playing Stardew Valley, but it is so tedious making any kind of progress in that game. So, setting up to record it is like, I feel like it would be much better if I actually knew how to edit video and I could record highlights from it and then share that. But as of this moment anyway, I have virtually no experience in editing video, which is probably evident by the fact that, if you've watched any of my previous live streams, I just let them ride. Just uploaded that shit, and, we'll see how it all pans out. It would be fun to be good at editing video, but that's the case with anything that takes, like, actually knowing what you're doing. Like, yeah, it'd be great if you can actually do it, but takes a a hot minute. Takes a good hot minute to figure out what the fuck you're doing with anything. So, yeah. Whoa, god damn it. Ragnar totally broke my box. So rude. I just realized I should make sure my computer is actually plugged in because last time it died. I think we're plugged in now. I'm almost certain. Oof. I just was watching my video preview and I just realized how much it's flickering from this light going off and on. Should I, Thank you, Necrostivo. Man, the minds with a sword. I wish I knew where the remote was for this light, because I feel like the lighting would be so much better here. Oh, here, maybe this will help. Yes, maybe. Let me know if you prefer it with the light on there, and I can try it with the rotating lights off or on. I just thought it might be fun, because it makes the colors do all sorts of wild things. But that might get kind of dizzying if you're trying to watch it, especially if you're like me and you watch long format videos at like 1.5 speed. Because yeah, I don't want that to get too obnoxious. Just minor obnoxiousness. That's all that's allowed. What are you doing? Are you trying to break my box more, Ragnar? Why you do this to me? Why? Oh, I love that dumbass. Hello, honey. Yes? Is that your cave? Hello. Hi, sweet boy. I love him so much. He's my good guardian boy. He always guards my feet when I sleep. And I appreciate it so much. He's a good boy. He might be a little bit clumsy, and one time he did fall off of our balcony. Not where we're currently living, but at the apartment we lived in before this. He literally fell off of a 3-story balcony. And it was amazing and terrible and terrifying, and I ran the fastest I've ever ran in my entire life, and I don't even know how I found my way downstairs because I had never even gone that way before. But I ran down very, very quickly to find my good boy, and he was at the apartment that was directly beneath us because he fell down into the mulch, which was luckily like freshly laid and very fluffy. And he didn't hurt himself. He had no broken anything, but he was very alarmed and was trying to go back into the apartment that was directly underneath where we were living because, you know, object permanence and whatever. He just assumed that was where we were living, so he went in between their, like, the little fence there, the same way he went in between the fence that was supposed to keep him from going off of our balcony. Yeah. Long story short, he fell far away, and it was very startling, and we thought maybe he would have died or broken the leg at least, but no, he was just being a dumbass, and he was a very afraid, startled dumbass. And then I held him, and I carried him back upstairs to our apartment, and then we promptly put up a screen that he could not go between because we were like, let's not tempt fate again and let you squish your way between those posts. Because they had just, like, vertical bars there. I'm glad where we're currently living, we have, like, a lattice up that none of the cats can fit through, not even a paw. They can't even fit a paw through that lattice. They could technically climb it, but none of them have tried yet, so hopefully it stays that way. And thank you, Stariana, for saying you'd watch me play Stardew Valley. I probably will very soon. But it has to be at least in a few hours because I'm very self conscious about recording on my computer when boyfriend is sleeping in the same room. Because our house is basically like we have one bedroom off to the side, and then there's a living room, and then the loft is above it. So we rotate wherever we're sleeping, just kind of spontaneously going with the flow wherever we sleep well. And he's sleeping in the loft tonight. So sometime after like 4 a.m., I might, if I'm still awake, I might record more Stardew Valley. If not, I'll just do it later because I'm excited about updating you. I'm in summer of my first year. I don't remember what day, like the 10th, maybe? I'm not sure. But, yeah, it's a very, very chill game, and I like playing it. And it's nice if I can stream it and play it, because then I feel like I'm being a little bit productive while being unproductive. And I have a bunch of gold star crops that I've hoarded from my spring harvest, as well as just random harvests from the wilderness and the beach. So I'm hoping that, I think it's in fall that they have the like contest. I think, I don't remember, it's been a while, but I feel like there's a contest where you're supposed to show off all your good goods, and I think I have at least 9 gold star goods that I can show off in my little portfolio. So I'm excited about doing that. It blows my mind so much. One of my most favorite things about playing Stardew Valley is just knowing that it was made by like a single person. I don't know if that's 100% true. Maybe he had a little bit of help here and there, but to my knowledge, it was made basically by a single person, which is, it hurts me a little bit and impresses me a lot. Because I would love to be on that level, but at the same time, it's massively, massively, that's a lot to do. Just mad props. And I hope that it came fairly naturally to him, because that's a lot of freaking work to put into anything. I can barely make, a single animation without feeling overtaxed. So, very impressed. Sorry, this painting has not made much progress. I've just been talking. Just been talking. Ooh, hey, this one's already open. That is a very, like, neon yellow. I'm gonna switch to a different yellow and save this one for, like, really, really bright times. Let's see, what yellow can I grab? And I'm gonna turn off the shifting light for a bit because it's annoying my ears. I can turn it back on though if anybody wants to have the light back. Oh, it feels so like underwhelming now without it. Oh, I'm just gonna give it a rest for a minute though, because like I said, it's kind of annoying my ears. Don't explode, please. Okay. If you are gonna explode, explode on the canvas. Come on. Go. Ooh, that's luxurious. That's just a nice, like, goldenrod yellow. But it is very stuck. Very coagulated. Come on now, don't do that to me. You know what? Here, we'll just unscrew that lid. I mean, it's got one of those chunky glumpies in it. That's what usually happens with these. That's a lovely color. So nice. Oh no. It's almost all out. Oh no. Ah. It's all gone. There's nothing left to this. I mean, I could cut it open with scissors. Okay, there. A little bit. It's like squeezing out the last little bit of a toothpaste. There's almost nothing left to it. So sad. Come on, you. Go, go, go. Just go, 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 go. Alright. Short of cutting it open with scissors, which I might do later. But that's about it that we're gonna get from that. It's a very nice yellow though, especially in combination with this coral. Sorry, no, this is not very exciting. It's chill painting, not exciting painting. There we go. That's a good gloop. As soon as I finish this kind of base layer on here, I'm thinking I want to do some more like doodle kind of shapes on it, if that makes sense. Boy, I am looking forward to figuring out how to stream stuff just like straight up from my phone, because I'd love to be able to just carry this around and show you various reference things that inspire me. Like I have a painting in the hallway that's this really trippy looking painting with a bunch of different elements in it, and we had that hanging up at the last two places we lived at, but for me to show it off right now would require moving both the camera and the computer and maybe the microphone, depending on whether or not we would try to, keep sound happening as I moved it around. But yeah, it'd be much faster if I would just be able to do it from my camera. Or not my camera, my phone. You know what I mean. My camera on my phone. And yeah, that's not something I have yet figured out how to do. I think maybe it's possible. I just have to troubleshoot and figure out how to do it. Very noobish to all this. Well, that's a lot of yellow right there. Orange or white? For anyone watching right now, make your votes. Orange or white over here, and whatever color you want to see over here. Let me know. I'm gonna go pee. orange in the bottom corner and white over there and maybe something stark at the top. Alright, so we're gonna have to do a little bit of both then. Alright. That's good, because that's kind of what I was leaning towards. I'm gonna try a little bit of on this. We're going to do a little bit of red and a little bit of white. Oh, no, that's the iridescent base. We need the white. There we go. For maximum contrastiness. We're going to try this. Here we go. Let's see how it goes. Makes me think of toothpaste, kind of. Not too much. Oh my. Oh, that's violent. Oh boy. I'm unsure about that. Now, this corner though, I do think, because it's kind of headed in a dark direction anyway, and it's fairly dry, it would be a good place for me to try my swirly doilies that I'm kind of imagining. I don't know if that's a very terrible way of explaining it, but I will demonstrate momentarily. Oh yeah, now these colors are starting to look like a phoenix over here. Corn. What are you doing? Oh, I hope that's visible from where you're at. My cat is being ridiculous. Molly, honey. What are you doing? Bean. Hi, Bean. Hello. What are you doing, sweetie? What were you doing back there? I hope you saw that. It was amazing. My silly cat doing the things she do. Alright, let me do a few more marks over here. A little bit of shoop, 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 shoop. Philip suggests red or maroon in the top color. Oh, are you sure that wouldn't be too much warm? Maybe you're right, because I usually lean too cool with my color preferences. So I'll try to lean a little bit heavier into the maroon category, which is convenient because I do have some paints. Oops! I hope that didn't land on the microphone there. There was a drip of water that flew over in that direction. Now let's use a little bit of this for a base. Ooh, that's very pleasing right here, right now, at least in person. The color overlay right there is all of my favorites. There's my spritzer bottle. I'm sorry, that was probably loud. Apologies. Let me scooch this over here. something warmer could be a good change of pace. I think you are correct. So let's try to lean warmer. What? Where did that? I guess I dipped it in the blue. Hang on. Let me wipe off a little bit. Okay. And then warm. Roop. So many times when I end up doing any kind of colors that make me think of... Let me take a quick picture of this because I like it and I want to remember it. Man, I wish I could... There's just no way I can catch it on the camera probably, but there's like a really good metallic sheen that's happening between the teal and the maroon that I'm putting on top of it, and it's very pretty. I'll share these photos on my Patreon, even though they still do not do justice to the in-person color. It's always so difficult doing art like that. Anyway, I was gonna say, anytime that I end up using any sort of fire colors or anything that looks like flames, it always makes me think of the phoenix symbolism, which is something I relate to pretty strongly as someone who has had a lot of different identities that have changed over time because of being raised with certain beliefs and thoughts and changing from them. I just definitely identify with the phoenix iconography. Hello, Chrissy! Thank you for joining. I hope you're doing okay. I know you said that there's a tornado watch where you're at. That's a little bit, it's always exciting to me, but only because it's a good way of shielding myself from the terror of it. It's just kind of leaning into the excitingness of it. It's rough shit. Oh, let me just go ahead and do... Woo! Oh dear. I did definitely get paint on the carpet just now. Good job, me. I guess I'll try to take the time to try to wash that out. One moment, please, while I try to get the paint off the carpet. Though I think it's too late. Luckily, I think we've spoiled the carpet in a few places already, so, that's life for you. Oh, hey, I'm at least 90% washing it out of the carpet. Maybe more like 60% washing it out of the carpet. We'll see. Riveting entertainment, yeah. Hey, yeah, I did it. I think it's mostly washed out of the carpet. Except now I see there's blue marks over here, and I think those are older. Oh well, that's alright. Who needs a safety deposit back anyway? Oh well. It's not the first and it won't be the last. We're both crafty people in this household. C'est la vie. I'm glad that it calmed down where you're at. Oh, your poor kitty's being afraid of the storms. Yeah. Ragnar always gets really on edge. Not so much from storms here, but anytime that they test the fire alarms, and yeah, he gets really, really freaked out. And it happens not infrequently. It is so sad. He always hunkers down and growls and runs away. Tries to bury himself in some blanket somewhere. It's so sad. Let me get one more photo of this situation before I paint over it. Man, it's so frustrating that I can't capture the metallic nature of the paints that I currently have going on here. I can't remember if I shared this story with you or online in general. I know I thought about sharing it. The story of when we moved up here and how very intense it was for the different cats while we were trying to, keep them close and safe. And it was so pathetic and sad and sweet. When we, on the way from moving to Tennessee to Wisconsin, we stopped off at a hotel and the cats were staying in the room with us, and they were so freaked out because of all the rooms we could have got. The one we were in happened to have a battery that was low in its fire alarm, so it kept chirping every 30 minutes, and it freaked Ragnar out every single time, and Molly was pretty freaked out as well, to the point where Molly tried to go to sleep in the litter box, because of course I brought the litter box into the room with us so that they could sleep and use the bathroom in there and everything. And yeah, it was just so sad and precious and awkward. And I coerced her out of the litter box, and I got her and Ragnar to both sleep with me, and I cuddled up around them like a mother goose or some shit. It was the most cuddly that either of them have ever been with me at the same time. And it was very sad, but also very endearing that, in a moment of crisis, they were accepting of my, familiarity, I guess. Yeah. It was a very miserable trip for both of them, I'm sure. I'm glad that they're both happier here and they have places to roam, and they also, specifically the apartment we're staying in now, does not do alarm tests as often as the other one that we had been living at for a while, because it's so stressful whenever they're doing the alarm tests. It frightens and hurts the cats so much. It's very unfair. And I don't understand the fucking point of doing alarm tests that often, and especially like for a prolonged period of time, because it what like just turn it on and back off again. You know, that's the test. That's it. There, you did it. You made sure it works. I don't know. I know I'm speaking out of a place of ignorance, but it's very confusing to me as a person who hears the alarms. It feels like the boy who cried wolfing, because I don't know how to tell when it is a real fucking alarm now. Thank you very much. No idea. Literally none. Thought I would add like an area of contrast right here, so that way it would make the brighter colors pop out some more. We'll see how that turns out. Sorry, I'm jumping topics from random memory recollection to what I'm doing right now. At a glance, this kind of makes me think of coral in the ocean, which is fun. By the way, if anyone has any questions or stories you want to share or whatever, like, I'm here chilling for the purpose of hanging out with people more than making anything in particular, so yeah. Chrissy says Gandalf's first experience with a dying fire sensor was funny. He was a couple of months old and he was all poofed up on his tiptoes and would bounce it. That's so cute. I mean, sad, but also cute. He would jump around, would bounce, step on every peep. Yeah. Ragnar kind of does the opposite, where he like hunker down and growl. That sounds much more cute, but also sad. If you get poofy and bounce around every time. Oh, it's so precious. I wish it was easier to explain to cats what the fuck things meant. It would make life much easier. Can't wait to meet Gandalf one of these days. He seems like such a sweet, sweet cat. trying to catch up on track. Sorry. Hang on. Just a moment. Let me go ahead and rinse these brushes real quick. Brr, brr. Back. Time to catch up on chat. And holy shit, that sounds wild. Wow. I feel like it kind of lends credence to the idea that viruses take on people's brains a little bit, because there's a lot of illogical things that happen that the only way I can explain it is that surely the virus must be controlling someone's mind. Otherwise, that's just... I don't understand. I don't understand. Makes me think of a YouTube video I watched about Typhoid Mary earlier, which I can't believe it. That's not a historical... Oh, shit, I forgot my thing. One moment. I gotta go get my paint water. But yeah. I'm sorry you had to deal with that, because that's ridiculous. Wait, what? The story of when you chased an ice cream truck down an interstate? I'm very curious. Please do tell. How, please, and also how? How and why, but how? Mostly how. Man, this orange keeps looking like it's gonna look good, but then I put it on the canvas and it looks very dull. It's disappointing. Sorry, not meaning to distract from the subject at hand. Just paint colors. Disappointing paint colors. Why you do this to me? way too much paint on the bottom layer. It's totally gonna get stuck to the easel, but oh well. This isn't relevant to what I'm painting or to anything in the chat, but for some reason I'm spontaneously remembering a bunch of dreams that I have had about trying to fly to some place in a dream, and it's really, really weird because sometimes you'll know where you're going and sometimes you won't, and sometimes the airplane's construction or shape makes no sense, and sometimes it seems very, very familiar. And I don't know, I've just had a whole lot of dreams that have to do with trying to fly to different places, and specifically kind of a frustrated element of trying to fly to somewhere in specific but not getting to the place that you specifically want to fly to. And I don't know, I just randomly feel like mentioning that as I paint this weird coral chunk in the corner here. So hello, Maurice. How's it going on your side of the existence? I'm glad to hear it's going well with you. With us, still, slightly business as usual, but less hours and, more anxiety. That's the long and short of it. Our cats are very much enjoying the attention, though. And, well, the whole election situation I would be happier about if it was anything other than what it currently is. But you know, what are you gonna do other than revolt later after the pandemic has kind of chilled down a little bit? We'll see. we'll see where we're at. Sorry, I have to go switch out my paint water again because it's already very opaque pink. I don't know if you can see, I can't tilt it any further towards the camera without spilling it. Brr, brr. I'll be right back. Fresh, clean water. Fresh, fresh, clean. I guess since this canvas is a little bit wet, maybe I should... No, I know what I need to do next. I need to do some, like, dark blue dots going up into there, though I really hate interrupting the, like, swirly lines that are happening up here, but, you know, I'm just going with the flow with this, so we're gonna go with it. And, yeah, I can't say that I've ever had a time where I felt both, like, more inspired, more anxious, and more upset, more all of the things, both positive and negative. It's very polarizing, this moment in history, because in some ways I think this is the best way to kind of wake people up out of their bubble zones, and also it's a very frustrating situation because a lot of reasons, a lot of factors coming together, and I feel more pressured now than ever to make art that's relevant, and I don't feel like this particularly is, but you know, whatever. I'm just making something right now, and just trying to unwind. I have found that the more I really, really want to make something that's relevant, the less I'm able to do so. So, you know. Yep. That's kind of where I'm at. Just a lot of frustration and confusion, and also hoping for the best. And also, I don't know. I mean, even in the worst case scenario, I think that Earth is a very, very smart planet and will figure her shit out really good one way or another. It's just whether or not we want to be a part of that picture, if we've got the ability to figure out how to make us. I feel like I'm getting really abstract right now, but hopefully y'all get what I'm saying. It's a question of whether or not we want to adapt and continue to be part of this weird ass Earth experiment, or I don't know. Yeah. That's a very, very blue that I got on here right now. Chrissy says it's relative to help your mental health. Yep. Yeah. Anything you can do to help your mental health is the most excellent thing you can do right now. That's my personal opinion, and that's why I'm doing these streams, because partially I want to reach out to other people, and partially it's just like very soothing to my own selfishness to just I don't know, have some sort of interaction. Because I've spent too much of my life being isolated and not interacting. So it feels good to kind of reach out and have some sort of interaction, whether or not it's meaningful to anyone else. It feels meaningful to me. And, I hope that it's helpful to anyone else. But ultimately, it's just an exercise in not being alone one way or another. Because it's very easy to forget where you are. If that makes sense to anyone. It makes me, probably the biggest thing that makes me sad about the coronavirus, but I mean, it's not specific to that. It's something that our culture has been doing anyway, especially in America. We don't have a whole lot of touch. It's not a thing that's very common here. So I feel like maybe this will bring an appreciation to that, but at the same time, it's not like we'll be able to do that more for a while. But I definitely appreciate it and I miss it. And I look forward to the day that we can all be in a cuddle puddle again. Because that's how the cats do. That's how the puppies do. That's how the monkeys do. I'm probably talking a bunch of nonsense right now, but oh well. Ooh, that's a yuck, that color. Cuddle puddles. Well, I'm glad that at least Chrissy agrees that cuddle puddles are not nonsense. They have been a very delicate and desirable commodity in my life experience. And, you know, it's hard to get everyone on the same page with understanding such things, but, so many of us are very, very touch starved. Specifically, I mean, I don't know why it feels like TMI to talk about this, but I think that, like, part of what makes it really desirable to me to have cuddle puddles or to be more touchy with people is because, like, I specifically feel like my vision is something that's a very fragile thing. Like, I feel like, I mean, that's what entirely this piece is about is color static and like it feels like there's kind of a neurological thing that's going on where I don't quite know if I'm going to reliably see things, if that makes sense. I've had a lot of, especially in the last 4 years, maybe. Maybe more than that. I don't know. It's one of those things you don't really want to admit, but like my vision will like flicker off and on a lot, and like I'll see different colors switched out with other colors just randomly and sporadically. And then I know I'm not colorblind or anything like that. And if there is a term for whatever's going on with me, I don't fucking know because I've not consistently had healthcare. And I don't know that healthcare would even know if they know what's going on. But it makes it very difficult to feel confident with how I perceive the world because obviously I'm not blind and I'm not colorblind, but I am struggling to be confident with the way that I perceive things. And it's a very weird place to be in. And yeah, it makes it so that I very, 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 very much appreciate things like how soft a cat is and the rumbling of thunder and that kind of thing, like very tactile experiences, are more meaningful to me in some ways than vision, even though vision like gives kind of a framework for my personal narrative in a way that I have a hard time imagining not knowing what having the ability to see would be like I don't know how to explain this. Suffice to say, don't take shit for granted and try your best to understand. Like, it's made me appreciative of what perhaps it is like to not have consistent access to one sense or another because I'm unsure whether or not um, I have a consistent link to all of my senses or whether that's going to continue to be something I can consistently rely upon. So it's interesting to kind of get a heads up in that department if that is kind of what's going on, is if something's kind of breaking down, which might be a thing because I have autoimmune issues and whatever. I don't fucking know. There's no way of knowing. There's a lot of unmapped territory, but yeah, I don't. I feel so vulnerable talking about this. I'm just gonna paint for a little bit and be quiet now because I don't know how to express what I'm trying to say. Chrissy says, I wonder if that's part of your autoimmune lupus causes retinal migraines and will affect my vision. Yeah, it's quite possible that it is related to my autoimmune condition. I've just not had a lot of luck with having doctors even understand what's going on with my autoimmune condition, because a lot of my results fall within the range of normal. And it's very frustrating because I know for a fact that my shit is not pretty normal. So it's been very difficult to track down, and it's been more than 2-3 years since I've even been to a doctor to try to assess the stuff. But when I was, it was a very not cool doctor trying to help us out with things, and he was very dismissive of any kind of symptoms whatsoever, outside of just the only thing that he established was that I had a slightly higher than normal white blood cell count. So, yippee. So useful, considering I have a lot of other stuff going on, and I had showed evidence about that in many, many ways. But, that's, what do you do? I don't know. You just have to keep fighting an uphill battle when you don't have the energy to hardly fucking get out of bed. It's very exhausting. So that's why mostly I've just kind of focused on taking care of myself and doing meditation and all that hippie bullshit. But, it only helps to a certain point. And I don't know. I'm hopeful that maybe when this crisis passes, maybe I can get hooked up with a doctor that will actually pay more attention to the things I'm saying and do more tests that have a little bit more backing to them, because obviously the stuff that I went through before didn't really do much in the way of figuring out whatever the heck was going on with me. And yeah, we'll see. Right now, I'd be fucking thrilled to even just get some anti-anxiety medication, because fucking these times are unprecedented and bullshit and weird, and Jesus fucking Christ. It's so frustrating not having any access to anything right now. Yeah. Yep. Could be worse, though. Could always be worse, which doesn't really make me feel better, because I don't want anyone to have it worse than, Sorry, I feel like this is a real bummer of a stream. I hope the painting at least makes it worth it. Here, maybe I can bring it closer to the camera so you can see the progress it's made. I feel like it's looking kind of cool, actually. Alright, here we go. I bring it closer to the camera. Look at that neat coral-esque bullshit. Woo! I think I'm gonna set this to the side. If I keep streaming at all, I'll either do it on another canvas, or, I don't know, if anyone has a strong... Ooh, this does definitely need more green, but it might need to dry before I try to put more green on it. What do you think? I'm going to try turning it every which way, so that way maybe the camera has a chance of seeing what it actually looks like. Woo. 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 Personally, I think it's time to move on to another canvas for a moment, because This is looking kind of cool. And I don't want to fuck that up just yet. Maybe in the future, but I don't know. That's where my personal votes are at. What do you think? Oh my gosh, my box is so sideways. Why did you break my box, Ragnar? I'll just leave this here for a moment while I go refresh my paint water. Let me catch up on chat, and it says Teresa's weed, you need weed. I wish that was the answer for me because in my experience weed has always made my problems worse. And yes, I've tried more than one strain and more than one delivery method, and it always makes my tinnitus fucking painful. And yeah, yep. But I do probably need something. I need prescription medications of some sort or another. Anyway, needs mermaid cats. Alright. I'll let this one dry, but I will try to put mermaid cats on. Let's see. I have one of my other canvases. This one has a little bit of like form to it, so I'm not going to touch that one. But I think that this one has almost no form to it. So we can try to put some mermaid cats on this one. Maybe. Or maybe we should turn these ones into mermaid cats. We'll probably try both. But this is like wet as hell. Like it's glistening with wetness. So let's just set that to the side right now. And try to make this happen. No, this needs to be the other way around though. Maybe. Actually no. This is the right way up. I think. I don't know. We're about to find out. And we're about to try to paint some mermaid cats on this bitch. We'll see. Yeah. I mean, in a theoretical reality where weed is completely legal and you could get edibles and all that, maybe I could keep trying different things, but even the CBD oil that my mom got for me a while back gave me the worst tinnitus of my life. That literally, like, I just spent about I don't know how many days just like openly weeping because it hurts so badly, my tinnitus. So it's like one of those things, like maybe theoretically there's some combination that would work well for my brain, but I don't know that it's a hard risk to want to take because it hurts so bad. It was very, very bad. It was very bad, and I was very sad. And I think the best case scenario I've ever had with any kind of thing was some gummy bears that I had in a state where they were legal at the time. And it felt like gravity was kind of pulling me backwards, and that was kind of fun, but it didn't solve any of my problems, and it didn't make me feel at peace or calm in the same way that even fucking alcohol does. Like yeah, it wasn't great. I've never had a great experience with it. I've tried on numerous occasions, but it's not THC, CBD, any of those things tends to be not, I mean, not great. Not great. I've had experiences with various chemicals in my life, prescription and not, and those have been some of the more negative ones. And I'm so glad that they work for some people, but unfortunately, my brain is a little bit of a contrary Mary and doesn't want to benefit from things like that. Maybe one day that will change. Who knows? I think personal biochemistry is a very variable thing, and it's hard to anticipate when one thing or another thing will help you. And that's part of the whole difficulty with getting stuff legalized or being cautious with it, is some things can be very harmful to other people and some things can be very beneficial to other people, and there's not a very fast and easy way of knowing which one's gonna be which, and it's very unfair. Yep. But it's okay, because theoretically, as long as I can get a prescribing physician at some point who will listen to me, I think that I'll be able to get access to the things that tend to help me moderate my mental well-being. So yeah. Molly and Ragnar mermaids. Let me try to make that. And yes, brain chemistry is a very strange beast, and a very, very, like, I understand the idea behind making some things illegal and legal and everything, but in my experience, it's a very, very personalized thing whether or not something is helpful or effective at all. Because I can go to sleep right after drinking coffee, and that's a very different experience than a lot of people have. So it's like, it's almost like we have very distinct and separate reactions to certain things. Let me try to make a Ragnar here. I don't know if I can. It's going to be a mermaid Ragnar, of course. So it's just going to be a gray boy with golden eyes. That's the idea, anyway. I have the window open in the room right now, and it's so nice because every now and then I get a nice, very fresh, cold breeze. Because on this night, anyway, we still have some cold breezes. Alright, now, if this is going to be our Ragnar-ish Little Mermaid here, then we've got to let him dry a little bit because I need to add his golden eyes later. And so in the meantime, we need to make our Molly Cat. And she's going to swirl down from up here. And they are not going to look anything like cats because this is just the shapes that are going to be available. Man, I wish so much that I could just open forum share the dreams that I've had. Because I've had so many bizarrely specific cat related and also space related dreams. Like I've been in specific mini stores inside of malls that have very specific items on the shelf, and I could talk at length about each and every one of them, and it's really, really weird to try to express and remember them, and I don't know why my brain thought it is significant, but at least I'm mentioning them now, I guess. I don't know. One of them was a shop that had a bunch of Halloween related items, and everything was either lime green or purple or black, and it was specifically owned by a person of darker skin color with a bunch of dreadlocks, but they said specifically that they've been running this shop for 2 years, and there was even I can tell you specifically, I made conversation with someone who was wearing a striped shirt that had light cyan and darker blue stripes on their shirt. And they sold in that shop cat collars and cat toys and stockings and nail extensions, a lot of very specific items, anything you could imagine that was little small knick-knacky purchasable things in this shop that were specifically of those colors. And yeah, it felt very cloistered together. I don't know, it's so hard when trying to recount dreams like this to express exactly all the meaningful points of it, but it was very interesting to me, at least, because there were a whole lot of very specific details that I don't know. If you're a vivid dreamer, you know what I mean. It's weird. Let me catch up on chat. Brain chemistry is strange, and I wonder how far they will progress. Studies with shrooms. I hope they progress studies with shrooms, because even just microdosing is a very significant thing for improving self-awareness in a way that doesn't happen otherwise. It really redefines the boundaries of what you think of as yourself. and other people. And that is very helpful when you're struggling with a lot of stuff. That's the very most tiny, tiny way of expressing what all that entails. Philip says, it sounds cool. I don't have enough of those kinds of dreams. For anyone that is seeking to remember more dreams, I can tell you there's a very, very easy trick to remembering them if you want it, but also it's kind of annoying because the more you get practiced at remembering them, you will be sacrificing just like unaware sleep for dream state sleep. But if you want to remember your dreams, the very, very simple trick is just record any little detail that you remember, significant to you or offensive to you, doesn't matter. Just record whatever you can as soon as you wake up, and you'll start to remember more and more. And I say this very sarcastically because of it is a dangerous road. Because I am basically a professional dreamer, and it's very it can take all of your rest away when something gets in you and helps you remember the things. I have vast mazes and impressions and a lot of shit. A lot of shit that is probably insignificant on the grand scale of things in my memory now because of being very, 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 very practiced at recalling dreams, because I've spent a lot of years journaling them, and it can be very exhausting. Unless, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's possible to recall them without also feeling exhausted by the memory of them, because I have a legitimate problem with being able to tell waking life from dreaming life now, because my dreams have gotten so good at replicating texture, sound, even the pressures in my ears. Like, I had another dream recently where I was in a submarine and we dove down deep, and the compression was very, very vivid. It's weird. It's cool. It depends on what you want out of your life, really. Because if you want to be able to invest your time and your energy in the waking life, you might not want to focus too much on the dream life. Because the dream life is difficult to understand, and it has a lot of layers to it, and yeah, shit doesn't translate super easily all the time. Of course, maybe I'm more susceptible to the intensity of it than most, but I don't know. Just whoop, just a warning, because genie style, you get what you wish for, right? I mean, I do very much enjoy my flying dreams and the very beautiful, vivid color, surreal dreams. The dreams where I'm a, like, cool-ass space captain and I, like, have a ship that I can control telekinetically, and it's pretty fucking cool. It's very rad. But, coming back to waking life after a dream like that is disorienting, to say the least, if you can even assume that you know which reality you're in. Yeah. It's wild. I should probably write a book about all my dreams. I've been taking notes. Just part of why they've gotten so intense is because I have been paying attention to them, but I don't know how to make heads or tails of the things that go on there because, yeah, it's pretty fucking wild. Let me catch up on the chat real quick here. Wonder how far they'll progress in the studies of dreams. Sounds like a neat story. Eating an empty stomach will make you have vivid dreams. Sleeping on an empty stomach will make you have vivid dreams. That's an interesting thought because I've heard also the opposite of where, like, if you eat like pizza or something, it'll give you weird dreams. I have not noticed any specific correlation. I could try to pay more attention to when and what I eat and what I dream, but I've kind of had vivid dreams since I was aware of reality at all, so like my early teens. So, as far as how much vivid dreams are tied to specifically what, I'm not sure. Uh, Tree says, your dream thing reminds me of Lillian from Go Get a Roomie. I'm not sure I'm aware of what that is. And somebody else mentions a Faustian bar again. Well, I feel like I've got to Google some things here to figure out. Same, Morty says, half of my waking life is checking if I'm sleeping. Yeah, so some of the tests that I've done in dreams before to try to figure out whether or not I'm sleeping have been trying to count while also like counting down with your fingers because that can be a difficult one. I did manage it in a dream once, but it did feel like there was some resistance, and I think what it was is that I was actually moving my real life hand, my waking life hand, while trying to count down. I can read in my dreams. I can feel textures in my dreams. I can like I said, I felt pressure in my ears. That wasn't even a thing I thought to test. That was just a thing that happened. And I was like, well, shit, I didn't even think of that before. But now I know that I can feel that in my dreams. So that's wild. And I know for a fact I can be convinced that I've rhymed something in my dreams. But whether or not that rhyme holds up to scrutiny once I wake up, that's another question because, yeah, I remember recording some poetry of my dreams and realizing it did not in fact rhyme and it was not in fact profound at all. But in my dream it had been, so that's the tricky thing about it is you can very much easily trick your mind into thinking that you've rhymed something or I suppose any of the other qualifiers that you might have counted something or felt it or whatever. But one of my earliest dream memories is feeling the texture on the ceiling. You know, that like bumpy cottage cheese texture, and I was flying up and I felt the texture of the ceiling and I'm like, well, this must be real because I can actually feel the texture, so it's gotta be. I feel like I should have some sort of like conclusive statement to say at the end of this, but I don't know what to tell you. James is weird. Me is weird. And especially I don't know what to do with the fact of like very, very familiar spaces that I return to over and over again in my dreams and they like feel like home and it's really weird and very good and nice and cool. I don't know. I just don't know. Let's turn this boy upside down. Ooh, that looks like a spooky, spooky, ghostly vulture, huh? Kind of. Let me catch up on chat here. Go Get a Roomie is a web comic. You know, I'm going to search for it on my phone so I can learn about it. There's an old German legend about a man named Faust who made a deal with the devil. It was a play too, right? Probably. Well, I'm not catching up with chat very good. But let me go look for Go Get a Roomie. Go get a roomie. Oh yeah, there it goes. Automatically suggested. Yeah. Say something about Brussels sprouts? Oh, it's so cute. Alright, I'll check that out more later when I'm not streaming. My test is textures. I look at something, the object has an opposite texture. In dreams, they'll have the texture I imagine, but in waking life, it's the real texture. It is. Did I misread? My test is textures. I look at something, the object has an opposite texture. In dreams, they have the texture I imagine, but in waking life, it is the real texture. That sounds like a delicate distinction to make, and one my sleeping brain probably couldn't. At least in my experience anyway, I get fooled pretty well by dream textures. I've tried to use them, but have not succeeded yet. Though, I guess, I mean, this sounds real sad, but any kind of, like, texture that causes, like, pain, like if it's itchy or scratchy, I don't think I've ever been able to feel, for the most part, I've not ever been able to feel pain in a dream. A little bit, and, I don't want to, I'm afraid to talk about this because this is like a nightmare that I've been having recently. So recently, I've been having dreams that, I mean, this probably sounds goofy to anyone who has not experienced this, but it's kind of like another variation of the, like, your teeth falling out dream. But specifically, I've been having dreams where I have, like, a big bunch of gum in my mouth and I can't get it all out, and I try to spit more and more and more of the gum out, and there just keeps being more of it, and it starts sticking to the roof of my mouth and, like, pulling off part of the roof of my mouth, and I'm so sorry. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's not good. It's not good at all. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it very much. Yep. That's, so if anything could tip me off to the fact that it's a dream, it's that very, very unpleasantness of having a perpetual unforgivable lump of gum in your mouth that you can't get rid of. I'm sure my brain will eventually find a way around explaining that away, but at the moment, that could be my tip-off to whether or not a dream is real or not. 'Cause obviously, I have never in waking life had a perpetual glob of material in my mouth that I cannot rid myself of, but it's so unpleasant in the dreamscape that realizing that it must not be real is not very helpful because I'm so distracted with just like hating the situation because it's very, very cringeworthy. It's very, very nightmarish and unpleasant. It's very bad. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Yeah, it's very I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's the worst, and I really, really hope that I haven't imprinted the memory or the idea of it into anyone's mind in a way that you can have a thought about it, because it's the worst. I probably should not have mentioned it. I should have taken that like idea to the grave with me because it's so bad. I hate it so much. I'm so sorry. Erase from your memory, please. Please replace it with, I don't know, happy thoughts like cotton candy melting in your mouth or something. Something good and positive and pure and true. Because I am so sorry for that thought. It's not good. It has helped me a little bit to realize that usually when I'm having difficulty with a dream, it has to do with like my waking up chemicals have already gotten released. Whether or not it's a reasonable time for them to be released isn't the question, but that's a thing I've noticed, is that usually when I have nightmares, it's because my body is just saying, hey, wake up now. Again, might not be the good time to wake up, but for some reason, that's what's going on. So, if anyone is struggling with weird-ass nightmares, it might just be your body trying to get you to wake up to either drink some water or go pee or to, I don't know, just be active for a minute. I just try to always come back around to cats whenever I think of weird shit, like sleeping sporadically or whatever, because cats know what's up. They'll sleep for most of the day and then wake up and then run around the house like it's nobody's business. So if there's anything I could aspire to, it would be cats. And I guess that's what we just have to do if we're having weird ass dreams, which is not very helpful if you have to be up at a certain hour for working. But, you know, I don't know. At least it helps you not feel like a total crazy person, to realize that this is just how animals work sometimes. Hey, I'm really making my way through this paint here. Yeah. I'll take a picture real quick. Oop, doop, doop, doop. I mean, it's not my favorite, but I like this area right up here. I do not like this area over here. That needs I don't know, like a whole lot of green, I guess. Let me refresh my water real quick, though. And I'm doing one of those really long format videos again. I kind of had resolved in my mind to just do a short one because I don't think this is necessarily the ideal format for other people in the future watching. But oh well, you know, it's just, this is the kind of video I like. I just like having something on that's like really zen, you know, just like a good background video to just kind of pretend like you have someone that's hanging out with you that you can make conversation with or just like chill out with. So since this is what I personally find comforting, it's what I find myself making, and maybe eventually I'll stretch my comfort zone to actually edit something and make a short format video, but I can't make any promises because this is still this is where I'm at. I'm gonna go rinse this water now, and let me know if you have any questions. I love you. Nico Stivo says being able to have people that you can chill with is important. It doesn't have to be TikToks every moment. It's funny, I actually did install TikTok on my phone recently because I thought, I don't quite understand the TikTok phenomenon, but I feel like if I don't understand it at least a little bit, I'm going to be a boomer very quickly, so... And, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so many things to say. And, yeah. Oh man, it's so annoying to me that this is like very, very slanted right now. I'm so... Ragnar, why did you have to break my freaking box? I'll get a better box for next time, but, this is... Well, here. At least it'll make me feel better if I plug in the wacky-dacky lights so that we got some extra things going on here. Alright, here we go. Maybe. Let me know if these get too annoying to anyone. It's interesting to me because I like the variation that it makes happening, but that's because the things that I'm painting to my eyes start to become overly familiar, so having the colors switch on them is exciting to me, but it might be dizzying to others. Alright, we need a little bit of green. TikTok is basically Vine 2.0, I've been browsing it a little bit here and there for the last like week. I'm still super new to it, but I love all the there's quite a few like zoo channels, which right now specifically are very cute to watch because there's a lot of animals that are wandering the zoo right now with with supervision, but it's very very cute because they're going and looking at other animals and yeah, I don't know. Most of the TikToks I've seen have been centered around animals and people rescuing them or interacting with them. So I have a overly positive view of it at the moment because of that. Well, I'm sure that could change very quickly, but mostly I just wanted to see what it was about because honestly, I didn't even know about vines back when vines were a thing. That totally like missed me. I must have been on oikeki boards or some shit. Who knows? I don't know. I don't even know when vines were happening. I know that it was a thing and I've seen a bunch of Vine compilations in retrospect, but yeah. It's very funny. I feel like such an old person or just not a very aware person since I could not tell with any semblance of accuracy when vines were a thing and what all they entailed, other than a bunch of compilations that I've seen since then that have like compared them to funny little tropes. Why is the paint getting so muddled? Why? Why? Oh, that's so unpleasing. Let's use this. This seems like the right color. That's a beautiful green. Holy wow. Holy wow. You're so pretty. You're so pretty. Man, I like mixing my own colors, but sometimes you just have to use it straight out of the tube because it has like a whole other different pigment range. This is so different from working on. I've been doing so much digital work for the last 1,000,000 years. And it's very different. Which, I mean, it comes with its own challenges because you can never get your shit to print and look like what you want it to look like. Obviously. But that's a very beautiful green. I wonder if I could find a blue. I bet one of these blues would be equally beautiful. Man, I keep touching colors that are not dry already. I thought that acrylic dried fast, but I guess not that fast. Oh, stop it. Stop, stop, stop. Stop. Just stop. Gently down, gently down, gently. Let's go with a little bit of this. No, actually, we got enough. Well, alright. A little bit. I'll do a little bit of extra blue, but I have a lot in my palette already mixed up. Ooh, that's probably too bright. Probably need a darker blue or something to mix with that. This and take let's go with this one. Maybe ultramarine blue. Let's do ultramarine blue. Oh my god, look how bright that shit is. It's so bright. It's so vibrant. That's wild. Absolutely wild. Sorry. It does seem fairly translucent though. It keeps wanting to change colors whenever I touch anything else with it. I'd probably wrap it up for the night. Maybe here soon, maybe. Or at least for a few hours. I would be interested in streaming some Stardew Valley, but I might need a rest before then. The length of that rest will be determined by my subconscious and my ability to sleep between now and then. We could find out. Might be just a few hour nap, or it might be like a 12-hour sleep. Would, I don't have much of a vote in that arena. I don't like how consistent this area is. Thank you in advance for anyone who has joined this session or might join the next one. And please let me know if I can improve anything within reason. Or if you have any questions or, commentary points. So I can't do too much if it's like something, like about my camera or overall existence that I, just can't change very much. But I will do my best. Oof. Ugh. Ugh. Don't like that at all. I need some purplish, pinkish, maybe. Oof. Yeah, this needs to dry before I touch it anymore. Because I'm just messing this boy up, huh? Oh my goodness. Alright, this is the last stroke right here. That's some catastrophe going on right here. Hello, Goblin. Honey. Hi. Hello, sweet boy. Hello, honey. Alright. Alright. That's it. Alright. I'm gonna call it for tonight. For right now. Thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you all have a good night. And take care of yourself. Thank you for dropping by. And yeah. Let me know if you have any feedback for a direction you'd like to see any of the paintings go in, or if you would like to watch me play Stardew Valley or Minecraft or something. Just, let me know. I'll try. Have a good night. Love y'all. Bye.